Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Tales from the Front Troop. We're here with more Jukebox Justice. As you can see, we're missing a couple of people. Jenna and Brie are not feeling well, so it might end up being a little bit of a shorter session, but we're gonna have more team bonding time. Or trio bonding time, I guess.
Estate bonding.
Estate bonding.
Estate bonding.
Time to form a new chaos trio.
Yeah, considering the
fine.
part of the polycules falling apart might be needed. So if you're enjoying what we're doing and would like to support the show, we have a Beacons page with all of our affiliate links. We have a coffee for direct donations, and we have merch on Redbubble, so you can find something. We have something that fits everyone's tastes.
We have stickers. Somewhere on here.
Yes, we do have stickers. Stickers. We also have all of our social media links on there and a link to our Discord so you can come and enjoy chaos all the time. If you're watching the VOD on YouTube, make sure to like and subscribe. And if you can, join us weekly live for our various shows. Right now we have a 3-part telenovela series going on, trying to solve the murder of a missing hotel owner and possibly getting some messy relationships along the way, except for me.
And dodge all of our problems.
I'm not dodging problems. I'm running
I'm dodging problems.
I'm running headlong first into them and throwing fists.
Sending men.
Yes, sending men.
I haven't seen this first episode. I have no context for what's happening.
Well, like 4 or 5 of my exes are there. Well, no, one
4
of
of
them's
your
missing.
ex-husbands.
So 4 of them are there.
The 5th is the murderer.
Oh, no.
No, there's 9 of them.
There's 9 of them.
The 9th is the murderer.
See, I was
No,
kind
he's
of watching
there.
the episode, but then also it was muted at the time, so
We're good at
I
supporting
have
our
no-
brand.
It's
I
the
was
VOD's on
modding.
Twitch and the VOD's on our YouTube now. So you have multiple ways to watch it. We can go around and have our 3 players tonight introduce themselves. And for for funsies.
Oh no.
If you could do something that you don't do because it's bad for you, but you could do it without any repercussions, what would you do?
That's a dangerous question.
Murder.
I was about to say murder. Just...
Oh, yeah, totally. For sure was gonna definitely say murder. That's bad for you.
Both Tess and Sylvie would say murder.
Well, more so because of the repercussions. It's bad for you because if you get caught.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
There's also risk of physical injury with murder.
If you're not careful.
Just be good at murder.
Just
Yeah.
get good at murder.
I'm
For
sorry,
the
did I just
FBI,
get told get good scrub over murder?
Yes.
For the FBI agent watching this stream, we are
That is a
joking.
joke.
This is all hypothetical.
We're strictly talking about fictional murder.
Goodness. Well, hello everyone. I am Mr. Crow, alternatively just Crow, and once again I'll be playing Joe Hatathli, aka Watchdog. And I think for me personally, if I could do one thing with 0 consequence to it, I think I would take some sort of hallucinogenic drug. Because as a creative, I am deeply curious about what that experience is like. I just don't want the actual brain damage.
Yeah, fair.
Okay. So what we need to do is get you a VR headset that has a simulation of what taking hallucinogenics
Just watch
is
a
like.
Tool video. It's almost the same thing.
But like some of the descriptions I've heard from like some folks who have dropped acid are like their senses shifting into like different things, and I'm just like, that I would never do acid, but that is fascinating.
Just watch Speed Racer or a Tool music video. It's pretty much the same thing.
I have questions about one of those.
Speed Racer?
With Sure. Speed Racer.
The movie, the hit movie by the Wachowski sisters, the Wachowskis, with John Goodman, starring TV dad John Goodman. Can't elaborate. I'm Maria. I play Elena, and I would do drugs if I had no consequences. Elena would probably murder people, though.
She'd be squishing so many heads like
She'd be
grapes.
squishing so many heads like grapes.
I'm Tess, and I play Sylvie, aka Valkyrie. Honestly, the thing is, Sylvie's probably done drugs and murder. We know she's done murder, so I don't think she cares. She just claims diplomatic immunity after she's done with it.
Okay, then it has to be something that has a consequence that she cares about, then.
Breaking a fey bargain.
Yeah.
It's
Selling
fine.
everyone's souls to the Fae.
Yeah. Making all of her party immortal.
I
Sylvie
don't
just
know.
creates a death note that is like when she signs their name, their soul goes to the Fae.
This is Sylvie's
know.
villain arc.
That's what we're here to explore today.
Tess would totally start a shadow organization and blackmail the government into actually doing stuff to help our.
Oh, I'm changing mine. I don't want to pay taxes anymore. Stupid taxes.
I want college to be free and have a universal
I have to file my
income.
taxes still. Yes.
You know, we've got a few enough people tonight. I'm curious about your response to this, Charlie. You don't really get to answer these.
I mean, I could, but we're not here to talk about me.
I feel like that's why we do the icebreakers, because Charlie doesn't have to answer them.
Let's see. Easiest answer, or not easiest, but simplest answer would probably two. Well, actually, no, I guess two. One would be eat all of the gluten now. Just
Okay,
eat
fair.
all
No,
of the
that's
gluten
a
you can do.
fair response. Fair response.
But if sort of like the longer term answer would probably be vape. I'm interested to see what vaping is like.
Interesting.
Because some of the things that I some of the scents that I will sometimes smell good, and I'm like, that'd actually be like but bad stuff like that, bad for our lungs.
True.
Yup.
So
Some of them
totally
smell like fucking candy, and I'm like, who has candy?
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
Yeah. Totally unrelated question, Charlie. But are the captions going to mess with your recording?
Oh, Charlie can hide them.
I do not currently have them on the screen, so
Okay, never mind.
might be a good idea to actually figure that out sometime about
Adding captions.
adding captions. Yes.
We would have to do it when we're live. That would be easy.
I
You
know.
can just do an extension on Twitch.
Have a like ticker tape along the bottom.
Yeah.
There's plenty. I don't know if it picks up one person's specific microphone or everybody's.
I don't know.
We
That's
can.
something to look into.
I have not messed with captions on
The
Twitch.
business.
I looked into it briefly. Anyway, we're way off. I was gonna say I looked into it briefly when we were just getting started, but
I'm sorry, I got
was
us off
overwhelmed by
topic.
a lot of other things. So anyway, start of the session. Is that a 16 or a 10?
Teeny tiny little drill.
That is. Okay, that's a 16. I didn't have the roll 20. So we can add a teen to the pool.
15.
Yay. 13.
Actually give you some incentive to use it because you don't get as much.
You don't know us. Maybe we'll just hoard it for no reason.
How much you get to hoard is now determined by random chance. So if that's the route you want to go, hey, if that's the route you want to go, I'll just stop giving you team altogether. You only get team when you enter a fight.
I think psychologically speaking, that's actually more enticing.
We'll see how it goes.
Remember my Psych 101 class.
I feel like that's also going to lead to that other gamer thing where you hoard all of your resources because you're afraid to use them.
Just can't win. I can't win.
Yeah, you can't. I'm sorry.
Can't do it. I got
Anyway.
a hoard.
Previously on Jukebox Justice, Joe finally went to therapy and found out that it wasn't as bad as he thought it was going to be. The rest of the team had a chat about the state of things and Joe needing some time off. And Roxy also spent some quality time with Henry, and they talked about what they were going to do and where Roxy might fit in now that she found out she was a clone and there was another Roxy sharing her space. Maybe help with the protests or other fun community organizing things. So, yes, a very brief recap. Now that I actually have the music playing. Switch to something a little more somber. And the three of you can go back to the estate. Are you going to sneak in under the cover of darkness?
Yeah, I was about to say, before we
Oh.
even get there, I think Joe would kind of look at the two of you and be like, so how much are we hiding the fact that I'm here?
I don't know how to answer
I
that
think
one.
Elena told.
Bertram knows that someone's
Bertram
coming.
knows.
Yeah, Elena told Natalie and Bertram that there was going to be a guest in the guest house.
But I mean, like, did you tell them about...
I don't think she specifically said who.
No.
Just a friend.
Just a friend.
So I probably shouldn't just be walking around during the day, yeah?
Well, so I don't know how much your dad. How much does your dad know, Elena, about the whole
Absolutely,
superhero thing?
absolutely none of it. It is a surprise.
Yeah, I don't think Sylvie's tried to avoid ruining
I
the
feel like it
surprise
would interfere with business, and then like
with the
it's
bank.
one more thing you have to worry on top of the bank.
He just kind of funds stuff without realizing that he's funding it.
Yeah, it keeps Natalie happy. It keeps me happy. Happy wife. Happy.
It
Happy
keeps
home.
the random child that got adopted into your household happy.
Yeah.
So he definitely doesn't know anything.
Yeah.
No. Just that
So
Natalie
I should
sews a
avoid
lot.
him.
Yeah. There's no reason for him to go to the guest house.
I'm guessing he'll be the guy in the suit.
Bertram wears a suit.
Okay. Do you have a picture of him, or I don't know, maybe a sock I could use for scenting?
He'll probably get you a sock, but
We just pull out the random socks that I carry
yeah.
for the members of my adopted family.
I mean,
I have a whole scent booklet.
how familiar are you with big figures in the city? I would assume there's probably pictures of the guy who owns the bank floating around.
If we're like still in the penthouse, Elena would have a couple of pictures in her room.
That's true.
So she'll go grab some pictures. Has Joe seen Bertram?
Oh,
No.
I have never met Bertram. We determined that last session.
Joe has
Yeah.
only heard
I have
Roxy's
heard
fearful
myths and
recountings
legends.
of this butler.
we're just gonna do
Yeah,
whole family tree.
She'll show pictures of Natalie and Jim.
Natalie I have met, because we went to the party together.
Mm-hmm. But she has your measurements, so she already knows you.
Huh. That might actually be helpful. I'm probably... At least until we can fix this, I'm probably gonna need a new wardrobe.
She'll love that.
I just mean like clothes. I don't need sequins.
We'll
don't
try
get a
this
choice.
Yeah, I
Sometimes
don't
you
know
do
if there's
not
very
get the
much of a choice.
Oh boy. Alright. But she knows about everything, so I'm okay to, like, be seen by her.
Then I tell her, yeah.
Okay.
I don't know the last time Elena caught Natalie up with things, but
And then, like, Bertram and the rest of the staff, like, I should probably be wary of them, right?
the rest of the staff. No, there is only Bertram. We don't need landscapers anymore.
Yeah, I kind of took care of that.
You don't
Yeah,
have,
If
like,
you
a...
want to be wary of him, you can be.
You don't have, like, a cleaning lady?
You just kind of pick up after yourself.
Pool boy? Or do you guys have a pool?
You just somebody skims it.
Huh. Sorry, I guess how much money you're just kind of throwing around, Elena. I kind of figured you guys are... Huh. Okay. Uh, cool. That makes things easier.
Also, why would we have a pool boy in November? December? It's winter time.
November. Probably actually like the end of November,
Yeah, by this point.
early December.
All right. Well, I mean, does Bertram know about all this? Roxy seemed to talk about him. Seems like no.
I have not confirmed any of this with Bertram, but has he seen certain things that could be determined as questionable? Yes.
I think he knows.
He knows.
He knows there's something going on.
He's gonna know after he sees me.
He's just taken stuff here a bunch of times. He's not specifically been down to the base.
All right. So avoid him if I can, I guess, but otherwise it's just your dad I need to dodge.
Yeah, I don't think
Yeah.
he would be out in the guest house at all. And Bertram, we can just tell not. There's a guest in there, and he does not wish to be disturbed.
Okay. Thank you again for this.
Yeah, no problem.
Needs to get away from the city a little bit. I don't suppose you know what the bath or shower situation is like at the guest house, because I'm gonna be honest, I'm not certain if I'm gonna fit.
It has a shower, pretty sure. I don't know if Elena's ever been in the guest house. It's for guests.
I mean, you'd probably know that it is
Yeah.
fully functional enough for
Yeah.
someone to stay there independently.
Yeah.
There may be, I don't know, you might not know if there's a kitchen because usually like meals would be served in the main house or like brought over,
Yeah.
but it would make like you would know that there's some bathroom there.
It has bathroom.
Oh no.
If we need to, we can I don't know. We'll figure that out if we need to
And-
make
we need to make
concessions?
adjustments. We can refurbish things.
Yeah.
All right.
Sure, it wouldn't be too hard to convince Natalie that a new, more current design is necessary for our guest house.
Probably not.
Probably something with a industrial level pet shower.
No, see, that's you don't say that exactly, but you form it into this is the new thing to do.
Look at the shower design where you have water jets on all sides. Isn't that
Yeah.
amazing?
Yes.
Giant jacuzzi tub.
We just need to know how to spin things.
And I guess in regards to this, like, unless you guys think you need to, you don't have to stick around for my sake. I can take care of myself. I mean,
I
I know
mean, we'll
it's
show you how to get through the maze.
yeah, but I mean, like, it's your house, but I'm not gonna like mess with anything. Like, I don't. I'll try not to be a bad guest, I guess.
Oh, we can hang out if you want, or
Yeah.
if you do not want, you can have privacy.
Guess I wouldn't mind hanging out with you guys as much. Feel like the two of us barely have gotten to know each other. Sort of pointing to Elena.
You're our teammate and our friend. We want to support you.
Thanks. So, this is the place that you've been staying, Sylvie. I'm guessing I shouldn't touch any of the plants.
Just ask
You
permission first.
can. I'll just let me introduce you first so they know who you are.
Okay. So are these ones, I don't know, socialist?
That wasn't really me my idea. I don't know what
That was a Roxy thing.
that was a Roxy thing. I don't know what they've been taught beyond protect the estate.
Okay, so I guess tribalist? I don't know, what would that be? You know what, this isn't my department.
They know family and the people we like, and then the people that we really don't want snooping around.
Well, I'd like to be in that second category.
By introductions.
Okay.
Does
I
Joe have
presume-
a vehicle here? We're at the
Yeah,
The-
Roxy with. Wait. Yeah. Well, they would have either. She would have either, because they went to go pick up Joe's stuff, so they probably either would have brought the rocket back to the penthouse, or if you three had already left to go to the estate, would have dropped it off at the estate, and then Cynthia would have taken.
Oh yeah, that's
Roxy
right.
back to the
Roxy
penthouse.
was taking his car over.
Yeah, I just didn't remember, like, I was trying to think of also how to get everyone to the estate.
We can summon a car.
Oh, that's true.
I mean, we
Alberto.
could either say
Mhm.
that Roxy brought it back to the penthouse, and you could go over in the rocket, or just call Bertram for a ride.
This is our friend. He's a werewolf. Don't ask up there. This is a normal night. It's fine.
Bertram's a professional. He knows not to ask questions.
It's true.
Unless they involve, would you like milk and sugar?
He asks the right questions.
Yes.
It's true. He's picked us up at the junkyard several times without asking questions.
Almost for the sake of comedy, I want to say let's go with the whole Bertram picks us up
That's fine.
angle.
Okay.
That was Elena's plan, if
Mm.
I vaguely remember what I wanted to do from last week.
You
That's
can
fair.
call the house and
Was to
request,
summon a town car.
request Bertram to bring the car around, and he does.
So I guess avoiding him is off the table.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, should I just act like a dog, I guess?
Or a people? Because
It's
you
not
are a
like
people?
a person.
I'm like 9 feet tall.
Well, you can fit in the back of the town car, probably. You can take the top down.
Okay.
It'll be
Feel like
fine.
feel like there's a brief bit of rummaging and Joe comes out like draped in a I don't even think hoodies exist by this point. Like a trench coat.
Duster.
A duster
like
and a hat.
Yeah,
Yep.
just like collar up, just like trying to hide his face as much as possible. Like old like TMNT style cartoon, just
Yeah.
With the hat.
yep.
The car is idling, and Bertram will get out and open the rear door for everyone to get in. He'll say, Miss Elena, Miss Sylvie, Mr.
Hello, Bertram. This is our friend. Oh, what actually, good question. What name should we use now?
Joe.
Mm.
You can call me Joe.
Mr. Joe. I'll wave you into the back of the car.
Just sort of like awkwardly fold myself up as much as possible, trying to fit.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a tight squeeze, but you get in, and Bertram will close the door and then head around to the driver's side and get in and start the drive back to the estate. There's soft music coming from the radio, but otherwise, Bertram doesn't really say anything. He's used to playing the part of chauffeur.
I feel like at one point Joe sort of ducks down a little bit more to the two of you, just sort of whispers, "He really smells like tea."
That's not how. It's really strong when you're closer.
I mean, don't get me wrong, it smells good. It's just like, dang.
Makes really good tea.
Mm-hmm.
Very soothing.
Yeah, I don't know why Roxy always so scared of him.
Seems pretty calm. I mean, hasn't freaked out about me.
Maybe the calmness is what set her on edge.
That makes a little too much sense. Can you make tea with peanut butter?
No. You can have peanut butter cookies, though. You dip it into your tea. Do you not dip, like, biscotti or in crackers into tea?
I've had tea like maybe 3 times.
Okay.
Ever.
That's going to change.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
What do you want to do? We can have tea. We don't have movie theater like in the penthouse.
That's fine.
There's a TV in the guest room.
TV's fine. They're usually running some sort of western.
Guest house, I suppose. It's not a room, it's a whole house.
I guess. You guys have any books? Not
Yeah. There's a
Much
whole
of a reader.
library in the main house. I'm sure there's like some fancy decorative books in the guest house.
okay.
can always pick up some westerns or penny dreadfuls or whatever your choice is.
Mm.
And not much for murder mystery stuff. Wonder if any of those books are advice on dating.
Sure, one exists.
Maybe.
But I mean, yeah, if it's okay with you guys, I wouldn't mind trying some tea and cookies. Actually, like, I guess it's not really a recipe for them, but do you think you can make junk cookies?
What are junk cookies?
Well, they're kind of everything. It's what my mom would make me while we were living on the road. It was just kind of cookie batter and whatever we had available at the time.
Probably. I mean, there's lots of stuff in the kitchen.
So it'd be like a super junk cookie.
One ginormous cookie.
Probably arrange that.
Yeah.
Okay. And I guess it goes without saying, but I'm probably going to be trying to figure out what's going on with the whole magic thing. Or,
Yeah.
wait, should I be talking about that right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're fine.
Just sort of gives like a glance.
Butler's here and know everything. It's fine.
It's true. Also, this is kind of like similar to Grandpa Les area where everything said here doesn't really leave here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, I'm probably going to be trying to figure that out, so I guess sorry if I don't know, light something on fire by accident or something.
Did fire extinguishers exist yet?
You can probably work something out as an emergency fire extinguisher if necessary.
Yes, there's something that existed. People have have put the fire extinguisher in there for you. They looked way cooler back then.
This is true.
Okay. Anyway.
Well, you're kind of just talking about me. What do you guys do for fun at home?
Usually at the penthouse. At home, I just sit, enjoy the company of and the quiet. Hang out in Natalie's office while she sews, read a book or something.
Yeah. A lot of posing for Natalie, sewing wise. Also, there's no groundskeeper, so there's a lot of gardening to maintain.
Do you guys have like a grounds? Like you said it was a small estate, but do you have like a I don't know, any woods or game area or something?
No game area, but there's trees along the edges of property.
What does the property back up on?
Woods, maybe.
There's probably a tree line that delineates the different estates. Everyone
Yeah.
has their own little bit of acreage.
Other estates out there.
Yeah. But it's not
Like
out in the middle of
suburb.
a forest. It's the rich suburb.
I was just wondering. But I mean, you're pretty far from the city. You do any stargazing?
Yeah, you could. We don't have a like telescope like the astronomy place, but you could just lay out in the grass and look at the stars. Or on the roof, maybe, because you could just hop up there.
Yeah, probably safe bet. I mean, I don't know how big your place is, but I'm guessing it's not bigger than like 3, 4 stories.
It's probably like 2.
Yeah, I can get up that.
Elena could also just lift us if necessary.
Yeah.
Also true.
Our stargazing endeavors will not be defeated by a simple roof.
Punches out the roof. Now I can stargaze all the time.
Unless you all have more you wanted to talk about, I'm good.
The
Right.
car.
Yeah, I'm good for the car.
It's not much longer before Bertram pulls through the gate and up the long drive towards the garage, and he'll pull the car inside before turning the key and shutting it off. And he'll climb out and open the rear door to let the 3 of you out.
Joe was already in the process of opening the door before he was like, "Oh, right, butler."
Sylvie will thank Bertram as she exits.
Mm-hmm.
He'll turn to you, Joe, and say, "Would you like me to show you where the guest house is, or Miss Elena and Miss Sylvie? Are you going to take care of it?"
We can.
Well, yeah, we can get him settled and make sure he is comfortable and as temporary.
Would you like me to prepare any tea or something to eat?
He would be appreciated, and
Tea would be good.
potentially a junk cookie. I don't know what that is necessarily, but
It's basically cookie batter and whatever cookie stuff you might have on hand.
and our guest is partial to peanut butter
Peanut butter. Yeah.
cookie batter.
I'll see what I can do.
Thank you, Bertram.
You're welcome. He will head inside.
Damn, he really is just not fazed by me at all, is he?
Good secret keepers.
Bertram has the supernatural ability of being utterly unfazed by everything that we've encountered so far.
His superpower is extreme calm.
Yeah, I could use some of that sometimes.
His secret is that he meditates daily.
That's why he smells so much like tea.
Meditation as a tea ceremony. It's fine.
Mm.
Sylvie will introduce you to the plants as we walk down to the guest house.
Yeah.
Do I even want to ask what it's looking like?
I mean, I
we-
feel like a couple of the roses come up and like kind of like almost dog-like, and like they reach out and like sniff at you and like might
Like an Alice in
nip at
Wonderland.
yeah.
Wonderland.
Yeah.
Okay.
They don't always do this. Sometimes they look like normal plants.
Yeah.
So it's like all the plants around here are like this?
Not all of them.
Not all of them.
Some of them are normal, just very, very well kept.
Okay. Cool.
There's a reason why Uncle Polly really likes these roses.
Mm-hmm.
Wait a second, but he's part of the.
He has a groundkeeping business.
We exchange a gardening secrets.
Mm-hmm. And
Oh my
garden,
god.
garden
It's a
and
great
secrets.
fertilizer recipe.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Seriously? Does Cynthia know you guys do this?
I do
we're-
not do anything.
I don't handle any of that. I just garden.
I just happen to have acreage.
Polly has not assigned me to do any of the non-human friendly
It's a
portions
vet
of his
work.
business.
Okay.
We just commiserate over the hobby of gardening.
I'm gonna go ahead and pierce the mask on this one.
Go for it.
Okay.
Just like, how much are you screwing with me? Okay, and then pierce the mask is mundane. Alright, so that's a 7.
You get to ask one.
What are you really planning?
Sylvie has not. Well, no, Sylvie's generally talking about gardening and her
Okay.
plans. It is not about murder.
Wait. So it's literally just. Jesus Christ, guys, you gave me heart failure.
We're just gardening buddies.
He's in the fucking mafia.
Like, yeah.
Did you
but-
think we were putting people under the ground and then put plants on top of them?
Yes.
That's silly.
I wouldn't do that at Elena's house.
You would have to have very, very rare plant, otherwise
Yeah.
then the police can just disturb them.
I mean,
Also,
your roses are getting my scent. I feel like that counts as rare.
yeah, but police don't understand that they're that
That's
rare.
also
They're
probably not
different.
terribly unusual in Halcyon.
But also don't shit where you eat.
Mhm.
So if I was involved in that, it would not be around here. But I have not intentionally murdered someone since moving to Halcyon.
Well. Okay, I guess.
That was an accidental occurrence.
Okay, yeah. Excellent.
You caught me there.
And he was only dead, or they were only dead for a little bit.
It's only mostly dead.
Liar. Humperdinck. Humperdinck.
Okay, well, I mean, if you are actually like guarding the place, then I wouldn't mind a tour once you've checked out the house, I guess.
Show you how to not get lost in the maze.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that'd be appreciated.
Even I don't know where all of the twisty turns go.
If you just fly overhead, you can kind of spot them, but defeats the purpose of a maze.
Also, I
But-
don't know if it shifts when you're not paying attention or not.
But
Maybe.
isn't defeating the purpose of a maze defeating the maze?
Yeah, but half the fun of doing a maze is being in the maze
Mm-hmm.
No,
and figuring it out and that sense of accomplishment.
this is. What's that thing Henry was talking about like months ago now? Gordon's knot or something?
What?
Just like taking the simple solution to something complicated?
True.
No.
But it depends. Are you facing the maze as a logic problem to solve yourself, or are you facing a maze because someone put you in a maze and they're being dicks? Because one, I'm going to solve the fun, like the way intended. The other way, I'm going to cheat as much as possible.
Yeah, I guess in this case, the maze is nice.
So then it's up to you how you want to tackle the maze.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm not just gonna, I don't know, fall into a hole and get eaten by a holly bush or something, am I?
No.
Probably not.
If you were an intruder, yes, but you're not an intruder. So
And if you get to the center, there is no minotaur waiting for you. That's only in Greek stories.
there's a little one. It
There's
might
a
be made of
minotaur.
plants.
It's a plant one. Planitar.
It's a hedge sculpture.
That does, in fact, do its own gardening.
He thinks he's very scary. Don't break his heart. Tell him he's not. Just
Okay.
pretend to be scared.
Mm-hmm.
I can do that.
He's actually quite adorable.
Take your word for that. Okay. Still just happy y'all aren't working for the mafia.
That would be silly. It's mafia controlling the bank.
I mean, isn't that kind of what happened in Chicago? Or has that happened by this point?
I don't know. Like 60s, maybe?
I forget
I
if
don't
that
know.
was 60s or 50s.
I don't remember.
Yeah, I presume we can get to the guest house easily enough.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nice two-story structure. It's got a pretty big porch with an awning. There's a wooden swing on the porch. Yeah, it's just made of white wood. Nice and quaint.
Some plants, probably. Overgrowth.
Some like flower boxes.
This is your guys' guest house?
Yeah. It has a little office and 2 bedroom. So I guess like 3 bedroom if you wanted, but it's very small, like sunroom. It has like a day bed in there. A TV. This is the 50s. We can own 2 TVs and that's really rich. Don't have a projector though.
Okay then. I guess my stuff's coming later. Just gonna check the place out. I feel like in the
Comfy
process of
beds.
checking things out, Joe does end up like taking one bed from one room and putting it in another so that he can actually like fit on a bed.
Combining the beds.
It's probably a tasteful sampling of books on the shelves in
Yeah.
the office. You probably can find some Western.
These days we would consider them classics.
Yeah.
Is there some smut in here hidden by Natalie? Who knows?
Some nicely sequined curtains.
Your mom's gonna be upset if I take those down, isn't she?
Unless you can get them back up the way they were.
I don't know if I can.
Also, you might want curtains. So,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and they're sequins; they're not glitter, so it should.
You'd
not
be
rub
able
off.
to see like a sequin. It's a pretty big sequin. You see it on you or on the floor. You could just pick it off easily.
Yeah. Okay.
The
Joe
fake
will,
glitter is the problem.
Joe will draw and close all the curtains in the house. Okay. I should probably. No. guess I can't go grocery shopping. Is it okay if I ask Bertram to do that?
Sure.
I don't know.
Or we can go if you'd rather. I don't know.
Is he gonna listen to me? Like, should he listen to me?
If you ask him nicely, he will probably listen to you.
All right.
Sometimes Roxy just screams in terror and he listens to her.
Yeah.
That's
Just
You
show him
know-
how to work the phone. If you hit this button to call the main house, and if you hit this button, you can have outside to the switchboard.
The operator.
okay.
It has the
It's-
same number as the regular house. You just have to have Bertram send it to here. Or whoever answers the phone inside.
Okay. And does your dad answer the phone much?
I don't know. Probably not. You work at the bank and then you come home and eat dinner and watch the news. Read the paper, read a book. Not a whole lot of calls coming in unless it's business related. And usually Bertram handles the phone and sends it to wherever it has to go. Or it's calls because we need emergency costume, but that's a whole different.
But it's all, I mean, as far as I know, there's not very many bank emergencies. That would
Not
be
this time. This is the 50s. We're going up, baby.
Yep.
We're not gonna have a crash for another like 50 years.
I guess unless we have another depression, probably not gonna have a bank emergency. So I'm just asking because my stepdad and maybe some other folks might be calling for me, so I don't want, wrong people connecting.
I mean, I can always just say that I have a friend in the guest house.
Yeah.
And then Elena's gonna just turn the TV on and
Yeah.
I guess it's like one button on these old TVs. Just click a button until she finds
I think
Horses.
they have dials.
Yeah.
Like
switch
the-
the dials until she finds a channel with horses or something.
Find the horses.
Horses are Western. Unless
You're
people
like,
are
oh,
just
horses,
like Spud
and then it ends up
Mackenzie.
being a horse race.
Yeah. Those are in the summer, but maybe.
It's
You
a
know-
replay. I don't know.
I just had a thought. Neither of you have really seen a whole lot of movies, have you?
I have seen
Nope.
The Wizard of Oz.
I don't think
At
Sylvie's
least
even seen The
twice.
Wizard of Oz.
I think we all watched it when we got back.
Huh.
Oh, maybe. Because I think we were talking about wizards.
That's
Yeah.
how the whole wizard
wizard in
shtick
Kansas.
started.
Yep.
And you learned about Texarkana.
Well, I don't know what you guys will be up to, but like if one of the good westerns comes on or just like a good movie, I can call you guys over. We can watch it together.
Sure.
Sounds
I've only seen
nice.
The Wizard Fun. I think what Disney exists right now?
Disney does exist.
Disney
and
exists. It's
They're
like
in their
Cinderella, I think.
Cinderella.
Yeah, Cinderella.
Because I think if I remember correctly, I looked this up like months
Peter
ago
Pan
now,
was,
but
like,
Peter Pan has like
54.
just come out at this point.
Yeah. Roxy is always talking about these like little. I've seen the animated ones at the news, on the newsreels. These little with the mouse and the duck.
Disney?
Sure. I don't.
Sounds
think
like
those would
Disney.
play on TV. Those would be rerunning in theaters. Just buy a whole theater to see this a joke and go to a theater.
Sylvie probably hates Tinkerbell. It's fine.
That tracks.
We might have been absconded into a different universe, so probably Tinkerbell doesn't even exist to Sylvie yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's like little cartoon ones that Roxy's always saying we should watch.
Yeah. They have some animated shows on TV at times.
I watched the news and that's about it. I do not a whole lot of TV.
Oh, have you guys seen Looney Tunes?
Looney Tunes exists back then.
Yes, it did.
Sylvie can't touch TV, so Sylvie
Yeah.
has no idea.
They have a TV at the main house. Elena just doesn't bother with it because
It's normally on the news.
it's on the
For
news
Jen.
and we're on the news and she's pretending, oh, look at that. Wow, that's crazy.
Oh, if it's on at some point, we should definitely watch Looney Tunes. Looney Tunes are great.
Did the TV guide exist in the 50s?
I think so.
It's
I
two
wanna say
pages.
Looney Tunes and giving us an education in westerns. Where Sylvie plays dumb about what's her face.
Yes, the TV guide existed.
Ruby Harrington.
Yes.
I think probably at this point there's a knock on the guest house door.
Sylvie will go to answer it.
It is Bertram with a tea tray.
Sylvie will take the tea tray and thank him for bringing it out to us.
He will nod and
Much
say,
appreciated.
he brought regular chocolate chip cookies for now. He will make an attempt at these junk cookies this afternoon. The
I
chocolate chip ones
appreciate
were
your
just already
effort.
made,
Mm-hmm.
so
We will bring back the tray when we come in.
very good. He'll leave.
I think Sylvie will pass out. I'm picturing these as big steaming mugs of tea.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no! It would be the full like you have your teacups
Oh,
and your saucers
yeah.
and an actual pot, like an
Yeah,
actual
yeah.
Fancy
teapot.
teapot. Elena will start
Yeah.
handling
Yeah.
the tea. And then here's sugar if you want sugar. And here's milk if you want milk.
Hmm.
You know how you like your tea?
No.
Do you like sweet thing?
I'm kind of more about savory stuff usually.
Yeah, then you don't need any sugar.
Okay. I mean, guess I'll
If
just.
it's too hot, you can add like a little bit of milk and it cools it down and make it a little creamy.
Like a very tentative sip because still working with like dog lips here, so it's a little funky.
How do you?
You just extend your tongue.
I feel like Sylvie, because Bertram's who taught her how to make tea, makes it to a very specific color with the cream and sugar. Like it's exactly what he taught her.
However Bertram takes his tea is how Sylvie takes
Yes.
his tea.
I think Joe takes a couple laps and he like takes the milk and adds a little bit. Yeah, this is really good.
Tea has calming properties, I say. White cat.
Might be needing a lot of this then.
Oh, the house is very well stocked with tea,
Mm-hmm.
at the very least.
All the varieties. You've got your herbal teas, green
Yeah.
tea, fruit tea. You got
This
your
is just black
chamomile.
tea.
You've got your black tea, Earl Grey. Darjeeling. That's the other one. English breakfast, Irish breakfast, everything.
Guess I'll try them as I go along. I'm guessing you guys don't have any interest in football.
Not really.
Yeah.
I only joined the cheerleaders because Roxy was doing football, and it seemed like a good way to still see each other.
Join the cheerleaders to distract the other team and help.
Yeah, I'm still not super okay with that, but the thought's appreciated. Yeah, I
It
guess I'll
was-
just leave it off any game I can find for now. Yeah, let's finish up the tea and go check out gardens.
Sure.
Assuming your dad's not home right now and I'm okay to just walk around.
If it's the middle of the day, he would be at work. At
Oh.
the bank.
Do you ever take a day off?
Yeah, on Sundays. Sometimes Saturdays. If Natalie wants to do anything, he has to take time off. But for the most part, he is probably at work.
Man, this sounds really
When
boring.
I had school and I did the extracurriculars, we would go to the extracurriculars. Not really doing any of that now that I'm not doing the college thing.
This might be a long shot, but do you guys have horses here?
No.
My before me and my mom left Arizona, my dad used to say that he was going to teach me to ride a horse when I was old enough. Kind of never happened.
There might be someone who has a stable around here. We can
I'm sure someone
try
has a
go
stable.
looking.
We can poke around and
Mhm.
see if we can find somebody who give us horse lessons.
But are they going to give it to...
Yeah, that might be a problem.
I mean, it was a long shot anyway. I probably would just scare the poor thing like this.
Depends on the horse.
Yeah, it's alright. Just thought I had. No. Used to being in a mansion area, I guess. I know calling it a house seems like too little, considering that I'm in a house that's like better than 99% of the places I've lived.
That's why it's just the estate.
Small estate.
Mm-hmm. Large acreage, small estate.
Took us 10
Old
minutes
guest
to
house.
drive up the driveway.
It's only because Bertram's going like 5 miles an hour. Once you get through the gate,
Very
you
safe
have to slow
driver.
down and appreciate the scenery.
It's the law.
Take a spin or two around the fountain in the middle of the drive.
Okay. Yeah. If you guys want to show me around.
Sure.
We don't necessarily need to roleplay this.
Yeah, you
Just
can have a look
montage
around.
of Joe settling in.
Yeah, spend
Meander.
some time together. You know, spend your first night in the guest house, and it's much quieter than the city. Peaceful.
Mercifully.
Yep. Very, very quiet.
Now, you had mentioned before about time passing. Technically speaking, I am still a Janus right now.
Mm-hmm.
Which means I do need to roll for secret identity.
Mm-hmm.
Crap.
I guess this would technically just be like Joe calling around to every like obligation he has and being like, "Hey, I'll be back next semester," effectively.
Probably. Yeah.
Because it's not like he can actually attend anything.
Yeah.
So,
Precious.
here we go. Hello. All right. Yeah, rolled a 7, so with the +2, that's a 9.
Okay.
So
You've
I've lapsed.
lapsed on one obligation, your choice.
Well,
Is the cult still an obligation?
actually, yes, it is. Huh.
It wouldn't be really, unless we want to make that like the cult cleanup that Eugene had been working on.
That sounds like a good idea, actually, yeah.
Yeah.
Just make that like a running background thing.
Mhm.
Okay. I think I will actually then say significant other. Because that was Henry. And I
Yeah.
feel like I suppose this role sort of represents this. Joe is like trying to give her space somewhat. Still, because he's still not certain where the two of them lay.
Mm-hmm. Well,
So
can we
between just
find
like
out?
other stuff going on, trying to manage superhero and real life cleanup and just getting settled into the guest house, probably ends up not talking with her a whole lot.
Not that you were much to begin with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do
you also,
Oh, sorry.
because that you also had one, right?
Yeah, I have to also roll up this.
I don't. No obligations.
I have to actually look up what my obligations were too. Eight. What do I add to this, Crow?
Mundane.
Mundane. Oh, this is gonna be shit.
Uh-oh.
Did you already roll?
I just know my wait, no. I'm at a 9, so I also lapse on something.
Okay. I don't remember what your obligations are.
I have them pinned somewhere. Give me a second.
I know one of them was the internship.
At Rook, but
Yeah.
Yeah, we still need
honestly,
to do with Rook Labs. Jeez.
Ah.
Didn't you have like a job there?
It was
yeah,
an
I was trying
internship, like
an
what Henry
internship
had.
at Rook.
That was
Um,
a million years ago.
I'll say Sylvie. I think I took 4 obligations, it looks like, but just for shits and giggles. All right. I don't remember if that was more or less than I needed. I'll say I lapsed on cheer.
That makes sense. Okay. that
Technically
tracks.
speaking, it's supposed to be 3 obligations, but
It's
It's fine. I couldn't pick just 3, so we
I've
went with 4.
thrown a big enough wrench in everything that
Yeah.
shit's just hitting the fan from all directions.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep.
But
Because I would like to potentially have that in if with Rook next semester if we need it.
perhaps.
They said they might have me back if I apply again.
But eventually, Natalie will approach you, Elena, and say, I know that it took me a little bit of time, but I finally set up a meeting with that scientist Jurgen. I
Oh.
finally convinced him to agree to meet with you, if you're still interested.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be great.
Wonderful. It's in a couple of days, so I just wanted to give you a little bit of notice. He's got a little time at the institute which I finally named Novus Space Research.
That
And
sounds important. I should write that down.
we can meet him at the facility. So.
Novus Space. Space. Novus Space what?
Research.
Research that. Research.
NSR is a very scientific sounding acronym.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And then, unless there's anything you want to do in those days leading up to it, we can fast forward a little bit. Where Natalie will have Bertram. Well, I guess the day of, Natalie would ask you, "Would you like me to accompany you, or are you comfortable going on your own?"
I think I should be fine on my own.
All right. I can have Bertram drive you then, and Bertram will get the car ready and take you a couple of miles outside of the city towards where the few mountains are, and can head up to a larger, like, research building that does seem like you can tell has an observatory attached. And he'll park in front of the main doors and let you out. You can head inside to where there's a front desk and a sort of like pseudo security guard is waiting. And she watches you approach and says, "Can I help you?"
Hello. I am here to see Dr. Dietrich, I suppose.
Elena Howell, I presume?
Yeah, that is me.
Okay. She'll pull out a little, like, visitor's clip-on badge and hand it to you. And point you over towards a set of stairs, like, off to your left or right. So let's say those are the stairs that head up to the observatory. Just follow them, and when you get to the top, there'll be you'll see a door off to your right that has Dr. Diedrich's name on it, and you can knock. He knows to expect you.
Okay. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Tempted to wander off, like, immediately, but she'll take her time, like, walking over there, just, like, looking at everything.
Yeah. There's not, there's maybe some, like, grainy images of stars and galaxies on the walls, but it's kind of plain in here overall. Really just, like, white surfaces, white tile. Very, very boring. Industrial, basically. Similar situation with the stairwell. It's just kind of, boring and closed. Feels a little endless at first, but then you eventually spot the landing at the top of the stairs. It seems like this one is very isolated to the observatory. It doesn't really connect to anything else. But you can reach the top of the landing, and you see there's one door that, just says observatory on it, and the other one says Dr. Jürgen Diedrich.
She'll knock on the door.
Okay. A couple of moments pass before the door is pulled open, and you come face to face with an older gentleman. He's wearing a lab coat and has, like, trousers and a button down on. His shirt looks a bit wrinkled, and he's got glasses sitting a little crookedly on his nose. His hair from the roots is largely gray, but the ends are whitening a tad. And you, like, upon seeing him for the first time, you feel this strange resonance. And similar to something that has happened before, your vision goes yellow.
Whoops.
And you see that there is a tether connecting the two of you.
Do
But
I have
it's
any? Oh, sorry. Do I have any other tethers? Just
I mean, yeah, coming out of you because
Okay.
you, like, the last time you looked, you had some connecting you to Roxy and the rest of the
Yeah.
team. But this one is different. This one
Okay.
looks different than those. It's
That's
this,
important.
instead of, like, the other ones were yellow, this one is white. It kind of has, it kind of reminds you of, like, misty ice, similar to, well, actually, I don't, you, Elena wouldn't know this, but, like, a comparison for the rest of us would be like the tail of a comet, that kind of, like, misty white.
Okay.
And taking a closer look at him, there's, you're not quite able to pin it down, but there's something strange about his composition. It doesn't match what you've seen when you looked at, like, Roxy or the other times where you kind of just, like, saw all of reality.
I think he's
And
kind of blurry.
a little bit, but it's kind of like there's something else mixed in. A little something extra. And you can feel like this sight wavering a little bit, and before it cuts out, you glance up at his eyes behind his glasses, and they are like two pricks of bright light, similar to, like, the sun, just shining behind his glasses. And typically, like, the last time you saw something like this, there wasn't that kind of definition for everyone else. But then your vision returns to normal. And I cannot do a German accent, so I'm not going to attempt to do a German accent.
It's okay. I think in my head he was maybe American.
Okay.
Just say that he speaks in German so you can just
Uh-huh.
speak without an accent.
But he says, yes, can I help you?
Yeah, hello. I am Elena Howell.
Oh, yes, I suppose I was expecting you. And he kind of turns and looks over his shoulder. I guess you have a table. You can come in. So and he'll step to the side and open the door and let you walk inside. You can see there's a slightly messy table with two chairs next to it. It's covered in books and papers, some handwritten notes, other typewritten notes.
Did Natalie have a reason for setting up a meeting? Is there some kind of grift here?
The reasoning she sort of gave to the institute was that you were a bright young student who Jurgen would be interested in meeting. And as you're sort of going inside, he continues. So, are you pursuing astronomy at the local college, university?
Oh, yeah, I was doing that. And then there was a whole situation.
I mean, if you're looking for the something like an internship, we do have an internship program, but that's typically more of formal process, so I'm
Yeah, maybe an internship. Do you have to be in college to do an internship, or can you just sign up?
uh we expect students who are enrolled in an astronomy or science program to want to
Hmm.
sign up with the program, but I can put you in touch with the program director who usually handles the applicants and that kind of thing, and she would have more information.
Um,
I mean, are you looking to learn more about space and like the universe in general? Or are you more one of those people sort of on the astronaut track?
they're trying to send people up into space. That's silly. Um, how much do you know about the space rocks? Like what lands here from the space? The meteorite.
I studied some of them. We have a few that have touched Earth, but there's still a lot that we don't know from the samplings we have.
I don't want to ask him about the rock that went missing, but if it doesn't exist in this universe, then it doesn't exist. There's just like papers kind of all over the place. There's nothing on his desk, nothing like personal on his desk or anything.
Does not look like it. Actually, after you take a seat, he probably tries to organize some of the papers that are on the table, but a lot of it just looks to be research notes, drawings, some long strings of just math, complex equations that I have zero context.
We didn't have
Rough
computers
sketches
to
of
do it for us yet, so we
I
had
was
to
about
do
to
it all
say,
by hand.
this is literal astrophysics on paper.
yeah,
Like the one
some rough
lady who with the paper stack that was higher than her.
some rough sketches of what looked to be astral bodies, planets maybe.
She'll just ask him some space questions that sound smart that a casual person in the who is going to take astronomy would totally know to ask about because she read some of her textbooks.
Yeah, he'll like pretty consistently. One of his texts is just like running his hands through his hair, and he gestures quite a bit and just seems like his attention is constantly like flitting around the room. He's one of those people who does not hold long-term eye contact with you, but he'll like answer your questions and probably at some point will pull out some random sheets of paper or something or be like, oh yeah, look at this math, and you're just like, that is a bunch of numbers that I don't understand. And just like explain things at a very very high level.
Math,
Science, space.
could have picked easier powers that didn't have to involve math.
I can give you some buzzwords if you want to. My father literally works at NASA.
We should get your father
Satellites.
on here to play Jurgen.
Can he do a German accent?
Don't. He can. Don't tempt him. You'll never
Hired.
get rid of him, I promise you.
He's hired.
Oh no.
I can't pay you, but you're hired.
This is a volunteer program.
But considering the sort of trajectory of the conversation, he will make a note of like the program director and probably like her phone number. Maybe writes a very brief letter of like introduction, which is just like his signature. This is Elena Howell, interested in this portion of the program for whatever these reasons, and he'll be like, if you want to make contact with her, you can speak with security at the front desk or make an appointment later.
Hey, open. Is there like I want to do something sneaky.
Oh.
Where are all of my game books? I don't. What do I have for? Nope, that's not the right one.
If you want to run your idea by me real quick, I can probably suggest something.
I basically want to like sleight of hand something onto his desk so he doesn't notice, which I don't think is a thing in here.
It's not really. I think considering his demeanor and how
Scatterbrained he is.
how scatterbrained and flighty he is and how his eyes don't really linger on you for an extended period of time, as well as you being a superhero, that's something you could easily do.
Yes, because
If anything, you could probably use your gravity.
discreetly.
Yeah, gravity.
I cannot use my powers discreetly because I
that's
glow.
right. You glow up.
Because I thought that would look cool, and it's really just
But
been
yeah,
a minor hindrance.
you can
yeah.
you can subtly slide something onto his desk.
Yeah, I'll slide something onto the desk.
What do you leave?
I'm gonna leave my meteorite necklace,
Ooh.
and she'll have previously have written the estate number and like slipped it in there,
Okay.
like on a ribbon and tied it around there or something.
All right. Do you leave any sort of extra context on that note or just the phone number?
Just the phone number.
Okay.
Now that she knows where this is, if she has to go get it back, she could probably very easily go find it. But
Yeah. Yeah, but eventually
rip a hole in the ceiling to stargaze.
eventually he'll show you to his office door, so he can get back to work.
Huh?
He's just like, nice to meet you.
Yeah, danke für the time.
I'll shut the door and go back to work. Are you going to pursue this internship program at all, or just gonna head out?
If the lady is here, she'll get like paperwork.
Yeah, easy enough to do. You can make some contact, get some more info about the status of the internship and the requirements and all of that.
I'm not going back to college.
Even if it means getting time with your dad.
Just rip a hole in the ceiling and kidnap him.
God.
Cynthia's not here to tell me otherwise.
Jeez.
Elena is one bad day away from just going power mad, isn't she?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
She's just thankfully the most stable member of the team.
It's the disassociation that Roxy has yet to approach
Learn
her
about.
about yet.
The disassociation and the fact that she's just on great terms with Grandpa Les.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's like the Leaning Tower of Pisa. Technically speaking, it's unstable, but enough effort's been put into it that
It's gonna fall.
pretty
soon.
solid at this point.
The tower is gonna go down.
I think the current timeline on it falling is like 300 years, from what I heard.
It'll probably be sooner than that.
Sooner than that, I thought, but that's a whole different Google search.
Yeah.
I already had to look up space things, and I was just too much math involved.
Is there... Bertram would drive you back to the estate. You're just gonna go about your business like everything's normal?
Depending on what time of day it is, we'll get something to eat.
Yeah, it's maybe like just a bit afternoon, so
Yeah.
good time for lunch.
See what Joe's doing in the house. The other house, not attached to the house, but on the property of the house.
The guest house.
I feel like at this point the office has been converted into Joe's like note-taking area. Which by that I mean half of it is just sort of like
Does he have his conspiracy board now?
Yes.
Does he have a
It's
conspiracy board now?
fucking
it's more just
Charlie
like an
Day board.
assemblage of like what information he remembers from like Navajo stories. Just like trying to write it all down so he doesn't forget anything.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming that this is like a week or two has passed in the midst of this, yeah?
Yeah.
I feel like he's had regular sessions with Grandpa Les during that time. And I feel like at the prompting of Grandpa Les, he's probably started a journal.
Yes, Grandpa Les supports this.
Which he has not written much in, but that journal exists in the office, and that's probably what he's trying to write in when Elena shows up.
She knocks on the door.
Sticks his head around the office door jam. Who is it?
Who do you think would be coming here to knock on your door?
Just
I
making
guess
sure.
I could be Sylvie.
Come in, it's open.
We'll say Bertram dropped it off to you earlier, so it could be
Yes.
him too.
Sylvie's probably nearby. There may or may not be a hedge that is slowly taking the shape of a horse. And she may or may not be shifting forms to reference shaping it
Oh.
so she can.
I thought this was going to be a case where you're making a hedge horse that actually moves on its own.
Oh no, it's she might
Oh.
try that in a bit. It's
Okay.
not necessarily.
We're gonna have hedge horse races.
Yeah.
Like a whole carousel.
Yes. Yes, I'm here for this.
No one's asking questions because Sylvie regularly does weird shit with the plants, like gardening.
It's just like her pet project, dear.
Yeah.
It's a topiary.
It also gives her an excuse to wear gardening gloves like all the time. After last session.
Mm. Mm, mhm, mhm.
I feel like Joe sets aside journal, seeing it's Elena. So, how did it go?
It was interesting. He's very into the whole space thing. I feel like if I had bothered, well, we did get sucked into an alternate dimension, but if I had bothered to learn like anything in school, it would have been a much more informative discussion.
Okay, I mean, did he remember you? Recognize you?
No, I don't think so. I don't know if my mutter had ever even sent photos,
Wait,
and I don't
Doesn't-
know if we ever had photos.
he doesn't know he's your dad?
Let
or-
me check my notes.
This is gonna get confusing. He doesn't know he's your sire?
Doesn't know he's your sperm donor.
I don't know what to call him, because Jim's your dad, but I feel like if I just both call him your dad, that's gonna get confusing.
I'm pretty sure he knew I existed, or I exist. Whether or not I survived the war is a whole different thing. Because I would get like birthday presents and cards.
But I mean, did you tell him?
No. That's it's association kicking in.
The what?
That is how you deal with your problems. Instead of confronting them or actively ignoring them, you just pretend they don't exist. How do you think I got through World
How?
War Werewolf? You just kind of sit there until it just kind of just kind of stop. All the noise in your brain just kind of stop. It's not healthy.
I don't think I'm physically capable of doing that.
Yeah, you just kind of do that for a while, and then you go talk to Grandpa Les about it. And then he tells you that is an unhealthy coping mechanism.
So you know it's a bad thing to do.
Uh-huh. But it works.
So you're disassociating about disassociating?
Yeah, it's all kind of like one circle, like time.
I'm guessing Roxy doesn't know about this because I feel
No.
like she'd be up your ass about it otherwise.
She does not know. Cynthia knows, though. She said this was a future discussion, and then just we've been kind of dealing with the facing, and then really just that. Kind of taking back seat.
Fair enough, I guess. So I guess it's kind of a moot point for me to ask how you feel.
I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out how I feel. I kind of thought that maybe he had like photos or something. And that like I walk in and he recognized me somehow, but that didn't happen.
I mean, when was the last time he even saw you?
Never.
Okay,
That's why I was hoping he had a photo.
well, I really think you should tell him, first of all.
I've been hanging out with Grandpa less too often.
He's kind of the person piecing me back together, so yeah. But also, I mean, shouldn't he know? I mean,
Maybe?
you said he sent you presents. Clearly, he at some point cared.
Yeah. A lot of things have happened since then, though.
So,
Well, he could have thought maybe I was dead this whole time.
but you're not.
Yeah. But what if you make
It-
peace with the fact that somebody you know is dead and then all of a sudden they just show up like, surprise, I'm not dead?
Well, then you can unmake the fucking piece.
I don't know if that's how that works. Talk to Grandpa
Trust
less
me,
about that
peace
one.
is very unmakeable. Kind of the story of my life. Successive series of peace being disturbed.
Though I have some internship paperwork for the NSR to fill out, so it's not like I'm never going to see him again. You can fill out the paperwork and then I can go and hand it in.
And are you actually gonna be like interning there?
I don't think so. I think you have to go to college.
I mean, be January soon enough.
Eh,
You could probably get signed back up.
yeah, we'll see how I feel when January comes around. Well, I would have to sign up beforehand. I don't know. It would be something to do. Especially if this whole registration thing goes bad.
Yeah. So another news report about that the other day.
It doesn't seem to be going very well.
The protests
Not
against it have been
stopping
pretty
them.
consistent, so I'm sure you saw more camera footage of Henry.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure we saw suited up Roxy.
Yeah, you saw a little bit of Calamity.
I'm guessing during this like
Is
interim
Henry the
week we've
primary
been
reason
suited
Joe's
up
watching
doing.
the news right now?
Yeah. We've been suiting up during the week and going to do like normal people things and goodwill efforts. And all that jazz.
I really, Elena, you should really talk to him.
Maybe something
mean,
will
maybe
click
he-
and he will call because I did leave my number. at the desk. For sure.
Did you tell him you were doing that?
No, I wrote it on a little slip of paper and like hid my phone number on his desk, Joe. Of course I told him that. That would be silly.
Because, I mean, otherwise, I think you'd think you were hitting on him.
No, for the internship stuff. You have to leave my number at the desk in case of the internship.
Oh, okay.
Elena's so full of shit.
She's just like half lying, half telling the truth.
Those are the worst lies, though.
Joe doesn't have the brain cell today.
Joe also has no context to think otherwise.
That's true. She has paperwork. She's just like casually filling it out.
I mean, I guess. Do you want to get to know him?
I don't know.
I mean, I would assume you want to know something about him. You found him.
Well, in the other dimension, he existed.
Oh. Like, he was actually your dad?
Yeah. I don't want to flip through that many notes, but she will recap her experience in the other world where she had two parents.
Huh. That's weirdly familiar.
Mm-hmm. But see, instead of being back in, where is she from?
Germany?
Well, Dresden. I think Dresden. Instead of being back in Dresden, I was in Halcyon. So I'm starting to think that maybe that whole time we were supposed to come here.
I mean, makes some sense.
But
Probably
for
trying to-
most of my life, I just did not have a daughter. And now I have Jim.
I'm not certain how much he counts, I'm gonna be perfectly honest.
Oh, he's kind of like a rich uncle. He kind of counts. I don't do a whole lot of it. Was the extracurricular in school.
I mean, he knows that, like, me and Sylvie are living here, right?
I know he knows that Sylvie lives here. And that there is a guest in the guest house. Probably.
Oh boy.
I told Natalie and Bertram, and whether or not they told Jim is an entirely different story.
Well, I mean, I'm not saying, like, you should, like, have him in your life. That's your decision. I've literally, I don't know a single thing about the guy besides the fact that he apparently works in an observatory.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, if you want to get to know him, like, get to know him.
Yeah, I think I'm going to sleep on it.
You're actually going to do that and not what's it, right?
Disassociation. Oh yeah, I'm actually going to sleep and think about it.
So many syllables, I'm never going to remember that.
That's fine, because if you don't remember it, you cannot tell Roxy.
Wait, Joe,
And
write it
Cynthia's
down.
not going to tell her yet because we have bigger problems. Bigger fish to fry.
I mean, I'm not going to tell her because you should probably tell her, but...
I told Grandpa this.
You know, maybe I should tell her because if she thinks that I was keeping another secret from her, she may just actually rip me in half.
She probably like run through you in half now. Just so pew.
Anyway, I guess you're doing okay then?
I think so. Just kind of needed to talk about it, and now I need to think about it.
All right. You can borrow the TV for a little bit if you want. I'm still trying to journal. I think Joe will like go over the TV and start like flicking through channels, see if there's like any cartoons on.
Sure, we'll say you can find the Looney Tunes.
Oh, Elena will watch whatever as she actually fills out the internship paperwork.
Okay. Well. Any other scenes the three of you wanted to have? Otherwise, I have one more in mind before we can end things on a little bit of a tense note.
I feel like at some point Sylvie will ask or show Joe the sculpture of the horse and just get his commentary on if it's the horses he remembers.
You making a horse, a
Yes.
topiary horse for him to ride?
Yes, she is.
Okay. Okay.
Wow. Okay.
It has little flowers for eyes and stuff.
It needs like a very majestic mane.
She probably figures out how to do that.
Just grow grass.
Yeah.
It's like wheat.
There may or may not even be like Pinto-based colorations if she's aware of them.
Dapple.
Or
Well,
a
if we've got a
dapple,
couple
like
weeks.
Appaloosa.
If we've got a couple weeks, Joe absolutely shows you guys at least one Western.
Yeah.
On
Oh
TV.
yeah, totally. So she's probably basing it off of whatever horse he seems to gravitate towards in the westerns.
He definitely likes the cowboy riding horses, so
Mhm.
I think what's the term? Palomino? Is that the
Yeah.
term?
Yeah.
Yeah, Palomino's the
so.
color.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't actually know horses. So one thing I
Luckily,
didn't research for
do.
Joe. Damn.
Yes.
I know
Yeah,
it's
Palomino.
a type of. Yeah.
Palomino is
I
a
know it has something to
lighter.
do with the horse.
It's a lighter coloration, like a gold color.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, most horses aren't made of grass, but seems like it's
Oh.
about the right size.
Well, you can't really go riding right now in public.
It's true.
Oh shit, this is one of your plants. Okay. Wow. Thanks.
You're welcome. And I may not know a ton about horses, but I have ridden a deer for most of my life. I think
guess-
some of the skills might be cross applicable.
I guess it'd be about the same. You don't really have like the antlers to hold on to.
I can
It's-
figure out how to craft.
I'm gonna need a saddle. Or actually, what I need a saddle? I've got pretty permanent fur now. No, that probably means I should have a saddle because otherwise I'm gonna have weird bald spots on my legs.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like stirrups also kind of help with learning to balance.
Yeah, good point. I'll need reins.
Sylvie's
Okay.
making notes. She might actually just invest in a real saddle and reins, but
That might be worth it if he
yeah,
ever
in case
rides a
he's
real horse.
Yeah.
I mean, I still won't really know what I'm doing, but I mean,
Baby steps.
Mm-hmm.
thank you a lot. Sylvie, this. Wow. And just a quick note, Joe is currently at white again.
Oh.
Well, I mean, okay. If I'm gonna have a horse, even if it's a hedge horse, it's gotta have a name.
Yeah.
Is Daisy a little too on the nose?
This is a good horse name.
Yeah.
Also kind of a cow name.
What about Silver?
Ebiscuit.
Secretariat.
Hildago.
Hildago existed. I don't
Mhm.
know if, or I don't know if the others have been born yet, technically, as horses.
Does Hildago exist? Yes, 50s, yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
Bullseye.
Hildago made Silver. It was one that
Mr.
Lone Ranger.
Ed.
Mine
Spirit
was-
the Stallion of the West.
Yeah, Mr. Ed
Another
didn't-
horse
isn't
references.
until the
Yay.
60s.
Oh, Spirit.
Side note, a song from Spirit recently got added to Joe's playlist.
I
Fair.
remember seeing that movie in theaters.
I do too.
I love that movie. I had a big Spirit watch.
How about... How about just call him Hedge?
Hedge.
Yeah,
Hedge is a good name.
just Hedge. Well, I look forward to riding you eventually, Hedge. Gives like a tentative nose pat, not knowing if the bush will actually react or not.
Oh, it probably totally does.
Okay, that's still a little weird. Oh, wait. I probably shouldn't feed him apples, right? That's gonna be like cannibalism.
Yeah.
I don't think the plants care about that.
Yeah.
As long as the apples aren't sentient, then you have a problem.
Wait. Are the apples sentient? Because I found an apple tree like a few yards that way.
Not.
I don't think
I
so.
no.
Did it like
I had some ideas after Wizard of Oz, but
wiggle
I
at you?
haven't experimented with them yet.
So that would be a good security system. So lines
Yeah.
that drive amid apple trees, and then they can just throw apples.
Plant them along the entire property line.
Yeah.
Artillery pieces.
Mhm.
Feel kind of bad. I can't really do anything like this for you.
Yeah. You don't have to. This is part of what you needed right now. I know when the time comes, you'll support me just the same way. Well, not exactly the same way, but with similar thoughts behind it.
I'll try. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And I think I will actually give you influence right away.
Oh gosh.
Sylvie does have influence over Joe, so you get to shift some labels.
Oh god, and I don't have notes regarding where Joe's at right now.
You're not supposed to know.
I know I'm not supposed to know. That doesn't mean I don't try to know.
It's a mystery.
What do I want to shift? I think Sylvie's gonna shift mundane up and freak down.
That can be done.
Specifically because I feel like Joe is embracing his own dreams and wishes from when he was a kid in a way, and trying to reconnect with his more human side from what she's seeing.
That is a good assessment. I presume at some point in the near future there is just like a brief cutaway of Joe very shakily trying to ride this hedge horse.
Sure.
Because while he does want to do this, he has next to no idea what the hell he is doing.
Sylvie is definitely there, just like telling him about like how to fix his posture and how his balance might be improved,
Sit up
and
straight,
letting him
sit
know
up
like,
straight.
yeah,
But I'm gonna fall.
Don't hunch, don't hunch.
yeah, keep everything aligned. Don't yank too much on the reins, that kind of thing. It might not feel it, but an actual horse would.
Probably good. Joe started with plant horse.
Fake horse, yeah.
Yeah.
Sylvie can repair it if necessary.
Yeah. I do feel like after the first riding session, there's a couple like claw dents that need
Yeah.
to be fixed. As for myself though, and scenes, I don't know if we necessarily need to make this a whole scene, unless you would like to, Charlie. But Joe would definitely call Sam and start arranging a positive PR campaign.
Yeah. He would, based on recent things that happened, he would definitely be like, would want to have his own sort of conversations with Henry, actually, since she has largely been a face of the resistance movement, and give her, like, give her a better platform and more backing. So, but he's all for the PR campaign.
Joe will provide him with the base's number because he doesn't know where else Henry may be staying at the moment.
Mhm.
And I guess that's also just like a quick question. In regards to all the news that's happening, do I ever see Iron Maiden on the news?
Actively hunting him.
Not
Yeah.
not in any like different capacity than normal. Probably the similar things of like villains that crop up and her intervening, but it's very, very ordinary.
Is Joe mildly afraid of going back to the city because he's slowly realizing that if she ever sees him again, it's probably on site? Yes.
Well,
But I do have one final idea for a scene I'd like to try here.
okay.
So I feel like as time goes along, Joe compiles what he knows of Navajo stories. And does very much have like a conspiracy board, though in this particular case it's sort of like centered around the like Four Worlds design, which is like a circle cut into quarters.
Yeah. Good old pie chart.
And there's definitely some days where like I think it's safe to say Joe maybe figured out eventually how to switch the rain on and off at will, but that's about as far as he gets in regards to that.
Okay.
But I was going to ask Charlie if he would allow me to try to roll to unleash my powers to see if I can maybe access a little bit more, maybe.
Well, is there something in specific you're trying to do? What do you have in mind?
I think after numerous attempts to like conjure lightning and nothing happens, Joe would eventually have the thought of, wait a second, I'm starting with the third world. That's not how this works. And I think he would try to focus on the first world. Because his current theory is that it's like some sort of magic tied to each world.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe with Sylvie's help, because he still doesn't entirely understand why he's doing the whole color change. He might try to access Black World magic.
So we're just trying to like conjure up a bunch of fog, or like are you something else?
Just like I can't imagine that like he'll get like a piece of chalk and just like make his own version of what Spuds was doing
Yeah.
every time he was casting magic. Doesn't know what the hell he's doing.
Yeah.
Just like drawing a circle on the porch and just like
Just gets saves like a baked potato from dinner and is like, "Come on, potato."
grow. Sprout.
But sure, you can go ahead and roll to unleash your powers.
Nah, that was cocked. Hang on. Stuff out of here. There we go. Okay, rolled a 6. What is... No, that's gonna be a 5.
Mm. Yeah, you aren't quite. You feel some connection. So, actually, hang on.
Hmm?
You feel some connection, like with the rain that's been happening. You're like, okay, yes, this is it. And you like try and grasp onto it, but I think your hold is like a little too tight where it starts to slip out of your fingers, so to speak. And it's like you're aware of the world around you, but you're kind of half seeing this vision like it's something you're conjuring up in the back of your mind rather than like actually seeing it sort of like materialize or like hallucinate in front of you. And it's an image of a wide open plain with just thin grass covering the ground, an orange and pink tinged sky like the sun is setting, and you see this figure a ways off in the distance. And you immediately know that it is a Navajo man, and he's dressed in basically just kind of like furs that have been fashioned into pants, doesn't have a shirt on, and has long black hair that has been done up in like several different braids that are just falling across his shoulder. And you can see across his back and his arms are just these swirling patterns of tattoos, various geometric designs. And he turns and looks over his shoulders, and you see his eyes are a piercing yellow. But they appear to be like human. This isn't sort of like the figure that Echo ran into in that facility that had cat-like eyes. These are just yellow human eyes. And there is a voice, just like a whisper on the wind in the back of your mind, that says, "Coyote." And then it slips away.
Sorry for disturbing you. She just like looks around. I'm assuming everything's like faded.
Yeah. And it was like you weren't actually seeing it, like you were completely aware of the regular world around you. This was kind of like just something connecting in the back of your mind. But it didn't seem there wasn't any sort of like anger or malice attached to it.
Okay. What fuck? Huh. Goes over to the notes, writes next to black, talk to coyote question mark. Sort of like stands there thinking for a second. He goes over to the phone to the house and will ask to speak with Elena's mom.
Okay. Would Elena know that it's or like you're being called Joe in the guest house? Or would sorry, Natalie. Would Natalie know that
Elena would
Yeah.
have told her.
Yeah.
it's Joe? Okay.
If Joe's cool with it, she'll whatever name Joe if wants to be referred to by.
Yeah.
Okay. Bertram can bring her to the phone. She'll say, "Yes, what can I do for you, Joe?"
Sorry to disturb you here. I just I had an idea that I think I want your help with.
All right. What sort of idea?
Costume idea.
Well, I do like the sound of that.
How good are you with ponchos?
Let me grab my sketchbook.
If you want to come over to the house, that's probably best. I don't think I should just be walking around in there shedding everywhere.
Certainly. I'll be over shortly. She'll hang up.
And Joe will mull over an idea that he's had.
Okay. And when Natalie shows up, she has sketchbook and a number of pencils along with a selection of fabric samples, and Bertram is in tow with a full tea set.
Okay, it's a whole thing.
It's always a whole
Yep.
thing.
Enter Natalie.
Enter Natalie pursued by Bertram.
Why do you think the girls warned you about posing for Natalie so much?
Natalie is
Don't
a
think-
force to be reckoned with.
Don't think Joe anticipated it.
Nope.
Nope.
But
No
he
one
will-
does.
He will discuss with her a new costume, taking pieces from the original,
Okay.
but as opposed to the sort of like button vest sort of deal, it's going to be more of like a long poncho, mostly tan, but with the Navajo colors as a stripe running like from hip to shoulder back down on the other side.
Okay. How do you feel about embroidery?
If we can get the style right, yeah, sure.
draw up some little like embellishment designs. Some kind of more like flowy, some with floral detailing. Some with just like kind of geometric, like interconnecting diamonds and triangles.
The diamonds and triangles Joel sort of tap on. I think this will work the best.
All right.
Do you think I should keep the hat? I know the hat's kind of goofy, but I kind of like it.
We could do a little bit of a redesign. Make it align more with this new styling.
Okay. And, what do you think of the name Coyote? Like as like a code name.
I think it has a little more flair than Watchdog.
I think so too. And Joe will endure as many swatches and tests as it takes to get a new costume of sorts.
Takes lots of measurements, has quite a few mock-ups. It's a very, very busy few days. Things have calmed down after, because I imagine she also probably finished up a lot of the suits that Sylvie was requesting. So her current like project pool has been a little dry. So now she's like, yes, something to work on. So she's probably coming over like daily, like, okay, look at this new thing, and what do you think about this? And just getting input and like checking the fit and all of that fun stuff.
And Joe is slowly realizing why Elena doesn't stay here much.
Yeah. So, anything else?
That's all I had.
It's my turn. So, Joe. One night, when you're laying in bed, I don't know, would he have the curtains open to look at the stars
Oh yeah,
at
absolutely.
night? Okay. Imagine you're just like, stretched out on the bed, looking out the window, gazing up at the sky. And your communicator goes off. And you hear, Watchdog. Come in, Watchdog. And it is Henry.
There's a long moment. And then Joe pick it up and switch it on. Hey, hey.
Can you speak freely?
Yeah, it's just me right now.
Joe, I know it's been a while since we've really talked about anything. So I wanted to first start off by saying I really, really appreciated the chance to be involved in resolving all of the pack business with the rest of the team. It made me feel like you really trusted me and believed that I could support you in the problems you're facing.
Did a really great job of that too.
Thanks. I mean, so did you, with taking out the alpha and all. As difficult as I know that's been to deal with.
I'm working on it. Mr. Les has been pretty helpful with that.
Good. I'm glad. I want you to be able to accept your powers. I know you didn't ask for them, and just their presence has caused quite a few problems, but I don't want you to devolve into self-loathing because of it. It's not. And it's just not good for you, and I don't want you to suffer in that way. You know?
I know. Just... Guess I just got too attached to not having them. Of course, guess it doesn't really help with the whole control issues thing. Yeah, turns out I've got those in spades.
Never would have guessed.
Just with you and Elena and Sylvie and everybody. Your powers seem like they're supposed to be a part of you, I guess. Just fits with who you are. From day one, just didn't really feel like a fit for me. Now, though, I don't know. I'm sorry, I'm not saying you're wrong. Now that you kind of pointed out, I am a little weird about my own powers, I guess.
I mean, we all have things that we're self-conscious about or we don't like about ourselves, and it can be hard to accept that. So it's not like just pointing it out, I think, is going to fix the problem. And no one else can fix it for you. If you're able to praise and accept other people's powers, you should be able to do the same for yourself.
You know, it's weird, but I think I might be getting there a little bit. I mean, I can make it rain on command now, so that's cool, I guess.
Good. I'm really happy to hear that you're making progress.
That's what Mr. Les keeps telling me, anyway. Are you doing okay? See you a lot on TV.
Yeah. Trying to do what I can to keep this registry from being enacted. I feel like we're making progress, but the deadline is still rapidly approaching.
I'm guessing your mom has been thrilled.
I don't know exactly. I can imagine how she's feeling, but I haven't seen her, so.
You haven't even talked to her?
Not since around the time she threw you through a building.
Wow. Good job. That's big change.
Don't I know it? It's feeling more normal, but the concept was terrifying at first.
I don't blame you. Honestly, I'm getting a little worried about going back to the city. Maybe I can make her rust.
Maybe.
But you're doing okay?
Yeah, I've been kind of like you, taking some time for myself. I guess there was another thing I wanted to sort of talk about. Um, I still, I do still love you, Joe. But I'm not ready to go back to the way things were. Actually, I don't really think we can go back to the way things were. Because we've changed and grown a lot in the past few months. That doesn't mean being romantically involved is completely off the table, but I think we both still need some time to figure ourselves out. And I mean, I'll continue to help support you in the ways I can and where I'm emotionally able to, if you're okay with that.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. Why wouldn't I be okay with that?
I just know it could be hard depending on the feelings you hold for someone, being around them and not getting to express things in the way you want. So,
Yeah. I mean, not gonna act like that's not gonna be an issue for me, but I really think you found someplace that is right for you, Henry. This team, what you're doing right now, I think this is stuff that you were made for.
Thanks, Joe.
And I don't know if or how I can fix or no build a new bridge between us. But I hope you don't mind me saying that. I hope I can.
I don't mind.
Because I love you too, beautiful. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that.
It's okay.
I'll probably be getting back out in the field soon here. I haven't been able to intentionally hit anything with lightning, so I don't really think I'm at risk of doing that again, I hope.
Unless you come up with a new team move with Roxy where you just launch her in lightning form.
That's actually really cool. But guess you can be, well, I don't know if Elena and Sylvie were told by Natalie yet, but I think I'm changing the code name. I'm gonna be Magic Werewolf Man. Figured I'd go with Coyote.
She laughs a little bit over the line and says, I thought you were going to leave it at Magic Werewolf Man for a minute.
I'm not saying that wasn't my first thought. That was pretty quickly discarded into the recycling bin, though.
Coyote. I like it. I feel like the name change is also you coming into your powers in your own way.
Here's hoping. If you feel up to it, I guess you can study my rain a little bit. I don't know what you're gonna learn from rain.
Lots of things depending on the composition. If it's freshwater, saltwater, has a certain acidity.
Pretty sure it's fresh water. I've kind of stopped carrying a water bottle. I just make it rain when I need a drink. That's actually kind of rude now that I think about it.
Maybe a little bit.
Maybe if I just made like a really tiny little rain cloud. Thanks for Thanks for calling, Henry.
Yeah. I also sort of realized we needed to talk about it on some level.
I mean, I wanted to, but I also didn't want to do the whole ambushing thing.
Thank you. I think we both needed a little bit of time to reflect. You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Good night, Joe.
Night, Henry.
And she'll hang up.
Joe switches off the communicator, wipes the tears that were forming in his eyes out, sort of rolls over and looks out the window at the stars. Just sort of whispers to himself, "Good night, beautiful." And doesn't get much sleep that night.
No. Well. A little bit of a preview. A couple days later. It's the registry deadline. There is a huge crowd of protesters gathered downtown. Henry in the midst of them. Some police nearby to try and keep things under control just in case. But before long, the sound of a gunshot rings out. And that's where we'll end it.
Oh, shit.
Oh. Yeah. Shit's gonna hit the fan.
Now we're approaching fan.
Okay. I can do some end of session questions.
Yes. And I am locked and loaded with mine.
Same.
Definitely going to grow closer. And to complete the trifecta here, going to be growing closer to Elena.
Oh my
Okay.
god, I'm doing the same thing to Joe.
Woo! You both have influence over each other, so you both get to shift some labels.
Okay. Well, you can start with me.
I'm going to shift your danger down and your savior up.
Unfortunately, you cannot do that as my savior is locked.
That's okay.
I will, however, go ahead and clear. Yeah, we'll say insecure.
I'm gonna keep my condition and take a potential.
I'll say Sylvie grew closer to the team, specifically Joe. Seeing at him be
He gets to move all sorts of
normal.
labels
Yeah.
today.
Yes.
And I will take that potential, clearing my track.
Ooh.
Charlie, you know what switch is coming, so
Yes, I do.
It's switch time.
yeah. I was
Switch
thinking about
time.
waiting, but I think it is switch time.
Cool. All right.
Hey.
You guys will find that out later.
Okay.
Well, for Elena, I think I will shift superior down, mundane up.
Okay.
Because I think Joe was very surprised because you were just constantly throwing around cash. And then he actually gets to your house and it's like, yeah, we've got like one person. Sylvie takes care of the garden. We otherwise just clean up after ourselves. And it's just like, huh. You are not the sort of rich person I'm used to encountering.
Yeah, you can't be a spoiled rich person if you have to clean up after yourself. Clearly.
I mean,
She needs all of that. All of the money we're not wasting on staff goes to buying taco places. Obviously.
that's a line.
The only time they hire an excess amount of staff is when Natalie is planning huge social events
Yes.
Yeah.
and they need catering.
We have so many restaurants now.
Alrighty.
And then for Sylvie, we will say, I think we'll say freak down, mundane up.
Okay, that can be done.
Because you just had like a very human moment of just like, hey, have a horse.
It's made out of flowers and grass, but it's a horse.
I made you a horse. Do you like it?
Have a present.
And the answer is yes. Joe, in fact, likes it very much. Am I now considering getting Kirby Craft so I can ride this horse into battle? Possibly.
Oh my god. You have a battle stallion.
We got a battle stag, battle stallion, battle bikes.
Oh my gosh. Have him just grow like a singular thorn out of his forehead. I'm riding a hedge unicorn in a
Battle unicorn.
Hedgicorn.
I was so tempted to make it a
Unihedge?
unicorn, but
Unihedge. It's many hedges, but one
Mm.
corn.
Fair. Okay. Well, thank you everyone for joining us this evening of state bonding and shenanigans. We'll see you back here hopefully on Tuesday for our second episode of Passiones Jammed by Jenna. The drama is real. I'm gonna throw hands probably against Luis on Tuesday.
I'm gonna enjoy a party until I'm forced to deal with things.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna grab that will back and hopefully get it verified. Yeah. So,
As in,
Anyway.
like, someone's will and testament?
yep.
Catch up.
all the trauma.
God,
Yeah.
go watch it if you. What
It's
do you
on the
you haven't
YouTube.
seen episode 1? It's on YouTube.
It's a
I've been
3-part
busy.
miniseries. It's
Oh,
not even that
God.
long. It's like
2
what?
hours.
It's my parents'
2
anniversary
hours.
this past week. Give me a break.
No,
Poppycock.
show it to them.
They
Family
will
movie
love
night.
it.
These are my friends. Watch them
These are-
create
Here's some of
chaos.
my friends
Well,
that I'm going
You
to see
should
next
watch
month.
it because I am in a nice suit and like vest.
Charlie
and tie.
dressed up.
I
None of
dressed
us
up.
did.
Sponsor.
But we've got that. And then next week we'll be back with more masks where we can see the kickoff of this explosive registry.
Sure, it'll go fine.
Will there be
Somebody
sentinels?
got
Who
shot.
knows?
Yeah.
You're correct. Somebody did get shot. And we'll get shot again.
We can only hope it was
Feel free to
Councilman
try and
Evans.
decipher what that means.
Councilman Evans.
Someone fucked up their first shot is what I'm interpreting that as.
Perhaps. Until then, have a good week. Eat a snack, take a nap, pet a dog, or some other furry animal. For now.
Or feathered animal.
Or a
Or a
feathered animal.
lizard.
Or
Or-
Not one that can take off your hand, but self-care.
But don't pet an alligator or a crocodile.
I want
Please don't.
alligator.
They actually really
I
like
feel
being
like
pet
it
if you
wouldn't eat
domesticate
me.
them.
It would recognize me as one of their own.
They totally do that if you raise them from an egg. It's crazy.
So now Maria has to play the long con. Until then, bye-bye.
Alligators could live in
Bye.
Michigan.